waiting. UGC, go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you for waiting patiently.
Thanks. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So I just want to start the conversation off by saying people, if somebody want to cheat, they're going to cheat regardless. Like, it don't matter. Like, it's also important to vet the person that you're trying to be with. You're supposed to have these conversations before y'all even get into the relationship. You should know whether or not they got a best friend since childhood. You should know whether or not, you know what I'm saying, like they got a best friend that of the opposite sex that they, you know, dated back in the day, but now they just best friends. Like, you should know all this stuff before you even get into the relationship. Furthermore, just from like experience, I've never dated or I've never had a male friend who didn't end up liking me. And granted, you
Thank
can,
you.
you know, come up with your own conclusion as to why that might be. But like, it's never been a situation where I had a straight platonic friend. They always ended up wanting to either be with me or sleep with me. And I'm sure there are people that can be platonic, but a lot of the times, those are childhood friends. Those are people you grew up with. And not for nothing, I feel like any male friend that I've ever had, either
You didn't find him
I,
attractive.
huh?
You you didn't find him. I'm really quick. I've always said, because I'm of the belief of most of the time, women that really look at a guy as a friend, they don't find him to be physically attractive most of the time. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I do agree, absolutely. And
Okay.
the reason why I say that too is because I dated. So I had a male best friend when I was in high school, a male best friend. We ended up, because he ended up liking me. Of course, I was like, you know what? Let me give him a try. He's my best friend. We might be able to make this shit work. But obviously, I wasn't attracted to him. And even though he was my best friend, it's like it was just he was my best friend. Like, I couldn't see him in a different light. Um, so we ended up breaking up or whatever. And yeah, like years later, we still end up being friends and shit like that. But um, years later, starting to kind of be attracted to him. All right, well, then he gets into a relationship. I fall back because I'm not that type of bitch. Like, I'm not. If you in a relationship, then you in a relationship. But then they break up. A little bit later, I get into a relationship. He starts trying, you know what I'm saying, trying to talk to me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's really hard for me to say that platonic friendships exist between men and women, because it's like there's always going to be one or the other. One person or the other is
Uh,
going to feel some type of way. Like it's never failed. Like, if I don't feel a type of way about you, then you more than likely going to end up feeling a type of way about me, and vice versa. It's always happened, at least in my experience. And like I said, I feel like that can maybe be, avoided if shit one of the people is gay or lesbian or whatever the case may be,
Bree,
or if y'all.
listen.
Hmm.
I look. You can tell me if you agree or disagree. I said I only believe that it could be like a very genuine platonic relationship under three circumstances. One is both of them need to find each other to be physically unattractive. That's number one. Number two, one person needs to accept being in a friend zone. But again, as a woman, Bree, if a man makes a pass at you or communicates with you that he wants to be more than friends with you, and then when you like politely reject him and put him down, if he tells you something like, okay, well, let's just be friends, then as a woman, you shouldn't trust that he's trying to be your friend when he just like communicated to you that he wants to be more than a friend with you. So the
Yeah.
second way is someone needs to accept being in a friend zone. And then third and lastly, if they both find each other to be physically attractive and they really value their friendship that much, then a conversation, and they can like, establish clear boundaries with each other and try their best to not overstep those boundaries. That's the only way I think that men and women can like genuinely like, be like friends with each other.
I can definitely agree with that, but I also I don't know. It's like I part of me feels like I don't know. I guess yeah, you can't mix attraction up with wanting to be with somebody, but it's like if somebody acknowledges that I'm attractive, like for example, my friend. once I got into a relationship, realizing how he had felt about me back in the day, even if maybe he wasn't showing that type of like side, I still had to like cut him off. Like I had to back up because it's like just knowing that you had those feelings for me, it's I don't know, it's just shaky. And I know how I am, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with a woman that had feelings for my man still being my man's friend, you
Right.
know, knowing that they have feelings for each other. So that's
Okay.
just how I feel.
And then last question. So, if you consider a man to like really genuinely be your friend, but he was to communicate to you that if you ever did give him the opportunity to like be sexual with you, that he would take advantage of that opportunity. Would you still see him in the same light? Would you still see the friendship as pure and genuine as you saw it before?
Well, shit, I don't see a friendship with a man ever as pure and genuine. To be honest, I always assume ulterior motives. To be honest, but that's just
Right.
me. But no, I wouldn't at all.
But
I would not feel the same way because you've made it clear that there's more of an attraction, and you would, if I gave you that chance, you would allow, you would take it there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like
but your
it's hard.
experience. Go ahead. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Is the common experience for a majority of women. Like I said
Right.
earlier, there's a lot of women that even if a man's not trying to like make a super hard pass at them, they might initially come off like they're just cool being friends or whatever, but eventually like a lot of y'all, this is the experience for like 90-95% of y'all. Eventually, they try to become more than friends. So like
No.
I understand you when you say that like I don't even see like men really just genuinely trying to be my friend to start off with. I understand that.
Right, exactly. Especially if I didn't grow up with them. Like, if
Right.
you didn't know me when I was a little ugly duckling, like I don't assume that you're gonna want to try to get to know me and be my friend now, unless you like men yourself. Like, I just
Right.
don't. Um, I feel like I feel like adult friendships, a lot of them, especially if they're not like if they are male and female, a lot of them did like stem from attraction, and then you maybe just realize, oh, maybe this is not the girl for me, or maybe this is not the guy for me, and
Right.
then you know what I'm saying. You try to turn it into like a friendship or whatever, but that attraction is still there. Like just because they're your friend, don't make them less attractive. And
That-
granted, you might not move on that attraction, but it's still a little weird to even like I don't know. I don't even know how to really describe it,
No,
but
I understand exactly what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying.
and
So
I feel
thank
like
you.
as far as just one more thing, as far as the boundaries thing, I feel like once again, like I said before, these are conversations that need to be had before you even get into a relationship. Like that's the problem with a lot of the relationships like that are today. These people don't vet their partner. Like they just, you know what I'm saying? They just kind of, oh, they're attractive, we vibe, and now we're in a relationship. Y'all don't take the time to vet the people that you're dealing with. Like you should know all these things. And for me, I'm not saying that you can't have a female friend, but or female best friend, but I'm not gonna date you with a female best friend. And that's just how I feel.
Period. I heard that. Thank you, Bree.